What's up, guys? Get ready to drop you guys a nice video, hopefully, that you can appreciate. But I just want to quickly show you a little quick meal prep. So, an organic free-range chicken. We have chickens out in our backyard. They eat nothing but organic produce grown out of our organic garden. So as you can see, a healthy chicken. All right, straight from the farm to the pan. Homemade grown potatoes, roasted in organic olive oil with Celtic sea salt, and never throw away the liver and gizzards, particularly the liver. The liver and the organs contain the most nutrient-dense properties. All right, our ancestors would eat everything except the muscle meat last. They would go for the organs because, you know, modern scientists and excuse for nutritionists like to think of our ancestors as primitive when they actually knew a lot more, which is why they eat the organ. And now we find out that's where the most nutrient dense parts are. So anyway, let's get on to the video. What's up, guys? Dusty Shaw Fitness here to share with you a video. I hope you watched a couple previous ones that gained pretty good traction. I was extremely vulnerable with you guys and shared with you my substance abuse and my years-long struggle with self-medicating mental health, anxiety, depression, PTSD. Those aren't labels I identify with. Those were particular seasons that still have remnants that I still have to sort through today. But I self-medicated with substance abuse. A little quick recap. I was an athlete my whole life, as you've seen. Wrestled growing up, fought professionally. Subculture I grew up in, punk rock, skinheads. You know, we were all extremely anti-drug. And so I had and plus being an athlete, I mean, just every part of my identity and social circle was extremely anti-drug. I mean, we were so ignorant. I can remember, you know, way back in the day, if we just caught one dude even, you know, smoking cannabis, you know, that violation required getting beat up, you know, because we didn't know any better, you know. And you know, I think overall it did a lot more good than harm because it made guys say, hey, this is just a zero tolerance policy. But the reality of it is, look how many PTSD vets and war veterans that benefit from hallucinogenic drugs, particularly psilocybin, DMT, ayahuasca, ibogaine, and some people even cannabis. All right, so, you know, there's no such thing as a bad drug. All right. If you are mangled up in an accident or in terrible tooth pain, you better thank the gods that we have heroin and synthetic versions, because pain can reach a level where you can die. You know, you can stroke out, heart attack. You can only take but so much pain. All right, so there's such thing as a bad drug. All right, it's the application of it. You got to look at it just like guns. There's no such thing as a bad gun. All right, it's how the tool or the substance is utilized. All right. The most successful parts of my life was while I was in drugs. Consequently, they will eventually, anything you resist will persist. And if you continue to run away from struggles in life, guess what else you've decided to run away from? Growth. All right, so you stop growing and you quit dealing with things by suppressing them and covering them up with whatever your addiction is. And so you stop growing, you become a shell of the whatever person you were. And so they stop working at a certain point if you abuse them. All right, the most successful people in the world, the top tech people, whether it's Elon Musk or people at Silicon Valley, or the people that create the most ingenuity and offer the most to society, who clearly don't have addiction problems, use hard drugs. Okay, but they use them responsibly. All right, but the thing is, you don't know until you tried that drug, and it may not happen the first time. It may not happen until years down the road, but at a certain point, it may turn against you. All right, and there's no way of predicting that. So I think abstinence, unless you are a person who have found that you can manage it. For me, I was not that person. You know, eventually they turned on me, and so what I want to talk about in this video is the importance of embracing difficult things. All right. So we could go into the science, like I've been into other videos, of eating extremely disciplined, just 2 to 3 meals a day inside of 8-hour windows, so that you're fasting for 16 hours or so you can turn on the healing process of the body like autophagy. All right. We know that we can, anxiety, depression, PTSD, OSD, even schizophrenia can be healed with just a ketogenic, low-carb diet and fasting. You can starve cancer outright because cancer lives off of sugar. All right, so and you could even go back to ancient texts. All right, the earliest one would have been Hinduism. All right, we knew this because it talks about it in the Bhagavad Gita and in Ayurvedic medicine. That's the first treatment they use. If you have any major health issue, the first thing they do is put you on a fast to cleanse your system. All right. Jesus, when they brought the epileptic child to him who was having seizures, what did he tell them to do? He told them to fast. All right. So we've known about this for centuries. Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. All right. Everything that you're made up of, the reason that you are now a full, hopefully, developed adult human being, compared to the fetus, it's nothing more than the food you have accumulated from the earth. And depending on what types of food that you have decided to build your body with is what has determined what epigenetics and genetic factors are turned on or off. All right. So, which also brings me to the disease versus choice addiction. Well, first of all, there's not a single person hardly in the medical or science communities that do not agree completely, as clear as cancer or any other disease, that addiction is a disease. It's specifically a disease of the brain. All right. I don't know why people caught up on the confusion of it being a choice. I've never met a person that tried a substance and said, you know what, yeah, I'm going to do this because I want to choose to become a drug addict or an alcoholic. That's just crazy. The vast majority of people that try substances don't even become an addict. So it doesn't make any sense. And the really one that just really kills it, besides all the professionals that know this is, you can just Google it, is drug addiction a disease? I mean, it's clear as day. It's just as much of a disease as anything else. All right. As far as the choice goes, if you were to smoke tobacco, all right, that's not something I've ever tried or done, but we all know highly increases your risk of lung cancer. So if you smoke and give yourself lung cancer, yeah, it was your choice to smoke, but nobody says, oh, well, since you chose to smoke, it's not a disease. Lung cancer is not a disease. Or if people overconsume sugar through food addiction and develop type 2 diabetes or obesity or heart disease or any of this, nobody says, well, you know, you chose to overconsume that sugar and those junk foods and gave yourself cancer, obesity, diabetes. It's ridiculous how anyone can think that this is the only disease that you get to say it's not a disease because someone's choices played a part. Almost all disease that people have that they've developed in their lifetime came from their choices. So yes, your choices led to the disease, but you didn't choose the disease, and it doesn't change the fact that it is a disease. But it's really neither here nor there. That's just for ignorant people that just, you know, that they have a low understanding. And when you have a low understanding of something, why have an opinion on it, you know? It's just for people to try to be self-righteous. And the funny thing is, the people that I see spewing this out, I would never call them out, but every last one of them has been addicted to drugs themselves. But once they get clean, they want to become self-righteous and start this nonsense. They weren't saying that when they were addicted and couldn't stop. You know, and these people often tend to frequently relapse too. But anyway, I just want to kind of put that out there too. But there's 12-step programs. There's so many things. One things they don't tell you in there is that the overwhelming majority of people, well over 50%, get clean on their own. They do not do it through rehabs or 12-step programs. Now, I know people that have gotten clean that way. Walk in one of those meetings. Most of those people have just traded one addiction to another. They don't seem to grow. I can count on one hand, and I'm thinking of one person specifically. I'll leave anonymous named Dan, who was a sponsor of mine, and Zipper. Those are the two that come to mind that made that program work out of the hundreds, if not thousands, I've met who are no better off. They just don't abuse substances, but now they abuse food or nicotine or, other behavioral addictions. All right. So the program can work for some people. If you're socially motivated, it might be a good program for you. If you're introverted like me, then it's going to be a bad program, most likely, because I don't want to sit in meetings with people that I cannot relate to. Sure, I could relate to. We've had issues with addiction, but, I could, that's like as similar as going to and saying, well, because I'm spiritual, then that means I need to go to this particular church. No, I have nothing in common with that church. Our spirituality varies, addiction varies, disease varies. You got to find what works for you. What worked for me and continues to work as a fitness-based recovery. Have I had relapses throughout my recovery? Absolutely. I'm honest and transparent about it. Most people do. All right. But it is a hell of a lot better today than it was. All right. Especially than when I was trying to, I just found myself much more stressed and desiring to use when I attended those meetings. I like the 12-step layout, like the curriculum. I just don't like the social aspect of it. That has a negative impact on me. All right. And not that it's all about me. It's about helping others too. I just don't see it. I just see a lot of self-righteous hypocrites, and it's very few people in there that I've seen the program actually works for. And that doesn't speak negatively to the program. It speaks negatively to the people. It's all on how you use it and your type of makeup. So I'm just saying, try any and everything. All right. But if you're like me, or my message resonates with you, this is part of what I do. For over 10 years, I've been coaching clients, writing up their workout plans, meal plans, lifestyle plans. And when you get your life dialed in, when you fix you, that's when everything comes together. You cannot get better at business or your relationships or anything, not just overcoming substance abuse, until you fix you. Because what's the common denominator? What's the problem? You. All right. So when you fix you, that's when everything else begins to work better. Everyone wants to project outwardly and put it on this and that and this person and that person. Those are weak-minded, low IQ people, all right, or ignorant. They just haven't grown to a place where they understand that all this world is a mirror, a direct reflection. You experience in life what you put out. The outward environment is nothing but a reflection of your internal environment. So please message me if you need a drop of ice or you need to get in shape right now. Coming up to the end of my discount. I only do this typically once a year. I'm doing it twice a year now, and because it's what I do full time, coaching. So message me. My contacts are in the video descriptions and all my social media. But you can definitely overcome this. I was as sick and worse off as anyone. Just look at my past couple videos, especially the second to last, the one about the fentanyl overdose and near-death experience. Just watch that. All right, so you can see how much worse off somebody was than you that can recover and come out of it. And it's it's a beautiful thing when you do it. And it may not be perfect, and I don't care how many relapses you've had, how many things you may have found that not worked for you, like the 12 steps didn't work for me, social meetings. All right, there is a solution for you, but it's only going to come from within, and that may come through communicating with others. Just never stop searching and never stop trying. A man that is determined and is never going to stop will reach his goals. Look at my recent transformation. Look at that video again. Sucked down just a few years ago. Overdose, dead. And Scripps Hospital in San Diego. And came out and immediately overdosed again. I was on my deathbed, down to 170 something pounds. I've never been that in my adult life. All right. I'm back up to a lean 235 pounds at 9% body fat, as you can see in my pictures. And It's no coincidence that when I'm doing my best and I'm vibrating at my highest level, that's when I draw on the most clients, because we're all connected in a way, you know, and my message will resonate with who it's supposed to resonate with. And for those that it don't, then just keep it moving. Speaking of that, if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please just take 1 second to look. I put out so much great free content. You know, they deleted my big monetized channel. I've had to start over, so this channel is not even monetized. I'm not running ads. I don't get anything out of this other than the clients that come through reaching me through these videos. But if you can just subscribe to the channel, like the video, but most of all, leave a comment, as it helps the algorithms. All right. I just wanted to drop a little quick video in and update you guys on some stuff. I'm going to, I've got me some meal prepping going on right now. And so I'm going to go attend to that. And my next video I'm going to go over some intricacies of incarcerations and go into some. So you've seen the deep and nasty of my addiction, and now I want to show you the dark sides of incarcerations, which they're both, you know, closely related. But anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Reach out to me if you're interested in coaching, and please drop a video in the comments and let me know what video topics you'd like to hear me come up with next.